MASADA. How are you doing today, MASADA?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Pretty good. Now, how long you been in the wrestling business for?
For 21 years, close to going on 22. So I started when I was 17. I'm an old man now.
That's cool, man. Now, like what promotions have you worked for?
Ring of Honor when the company first started. Big Japan, Freedoms. Done tryouts with WWE, Sunday Night Heat with those guys. Also worked for Impact. Done some explosion matches for them. But Major League Wrestling, pretty much anything that's a top company, my name's been there at some point in time.
Okay. Any particular highlights of your career that you've had or memorable matches?
I guess the most part is just the extreme death matches I've had overseas in Japan and Europe. And I guess my run here in Combat Zone Wrestling. So.
Now, what was it like over in Japan in the death matches over there?
It's brutal because it was every day. Every day you're doing not the same like death matches, but a lot of light tubes, a lot of broken glass, and it gets pretty repetitive when you keep going through that and damaging your body. So, okay. I mean, it's pretty brutal.
Any particular strategies that you have when you do the death matches?
Just always try to do something different and be a lot more clever with things and not get hit. That's the whole point. Don't get hit.
Now, any inspirations that you look up to that made you want to decide to get involved in death matches?
Yeah, I mean Terry Funk, Bruiser Brody, Sabu. I mean those guys like when I was a teenager watching wrestling, like idolized, like they were really cool. So go more or less forward on that style of wrestling because not a lot of people were doing it.
All right. Now, what's your favorite era or time period in pro wrestling?
Probably late '90s, early 2000. That's when like wrestling was really booming. Yeah. Things have changed so much right now. It's some shows and events it's even hard to even call it pro wrestling. You know what I mean? So.
Now, what do you think of AEW and what they're doing in the business these days?
I mean, I've honestly haven't watched anything, and I haven't really studied up on anything. I'm sure it's good. I mean, everything's competition, so if something's on nationwide, international TV level. You know, there's a lot of things going on now. You have New Japan has TV, you have Impact has TV, Ring of Honor, but AEW is obviously main competition for Vince's promotion, so that's great. They always need competition.
Yeah. Okay.
You guys need jobs.
Now, what was that like when you were in WWE backstage and all?
I mean, WWE was like super cool because honestly, it's like you could kind of get the feeling like they more or less wanted new talent to make money. And then when I did tryouts with Impact, it's more or less they already knew who they wanted, and it was way more political. I'm sure there's politics everywhere, but it felt like WWE was more open-minded of getting new talent out there. And you kind of see that going on right now with NXT. I mean, there's a lot of bogus bullshit that goes on with wrestling, and I'm sure, like, I got friends that work there, and they tell me things, but, you know, it is what it is.
Awesome, man. Now, do you have anything else you'd like to plug or add or anything? Or?
Nah, I mean, this is MASADA, Ultraviolent Beast. Check me out, you know, when you get the chance, look up Exiled Artifacts, my promotion or company I run, and just keep supporting pro wrestling.
Awesome, man. Thanks for the interview, man.
All right.